This is Rational Thoughts of an Irrational Man with your host, Richard Smith. Tonight, we're going to talk about our whys. Why do we do the things that we do? Why are we where we are right now? I'm going to give you my backstory to give you some peace of mind and some motivation and maybe some clarity in your life to keep moving forward. And I'm doing this, not just for you. I'm doing it for me. This is clarity for me. This brings peace of mind to my life. It's also my outlet to get out the things that I need to, so I don't leave myself in a dark place mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because it's important to be balanced in life. And I want you to know, for most of my life, I've been alone. This isn't let's feel sorry for the host of, Rational Thoughts of an Irrational Man. You need to know my whys. Why do I do what I do? Why do I record? Why do I give back? Why do I invite people to pick my brain like I do? Well, it's my therapy. Therapy is important to me. I feel like that in life you need, such closure within yourself and, the things that have happened in your life to be able to move forward. And at this time, I feel like my closure is letting people in my life for the first time ever and giving you an idea of what it's like to walk through hell and end up on the other side. Life isn't easy. Life also isn't a choice. Life is something that, is given to us as a gift. We need to look at it that way. Regardless of the outcomes that happen in our life and the setbacks and the emotional barriers that are put up because of those, remember that life is precious. Life is extremely precious. And nothing's perfect. Nothing. If everything was perfect, we'd live recklessly. And we all know this. And that's something that I absolutely have honed in on and understand that, if there was a cure for cancer, all cancers, we would live recklessly. If we could get in a wreck on the highway and not die, think of all the wrecks that people would get in because we knew that we couldn't die. So with that being said, I really want to give the world my whys. Why do I do what I do? Why do I sit here at night at 8:40 p.m. and record for the whole world and let them in my brain? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, it is to keep my sanity. It is clarity for me, understanding, fulfillment. And like I said before, it's peace of mind. So here's my story, and this is where it starts. My father had cancer when I was 9 years old. He had testicular cancer. Then my dad got cured of testicular cancer 3 years later. So I would have been 9 years old when he got cured. I'm sorry, I was 6 years old when he got diagnosed. I was 9 years old when he got cured. Less than a year later, my mom gets diagnosed with brain cancer. This is the turning point in my life. This is where I realized that life was real. I'll never forget the 3-year battle that my mom went through, 3 brain surgeries. The first brain surgery, her brain was the size of a pea. The second one was the size of a tennis ball. And the third time was the size of a grapefruit, and there's nothing they could do for her. I'll never forget, right before my mom passed away, I went to wake my mom up for a doctor's appointment. My 34-year-old mom looked up at me and told me it was her 16th birthday, and she had to go meet up with her friend Becky to spend the day with. mind you, I know Becky. Becky was my mom's best friend. I also knew her kids. That was a really hard pill for me to swallow at 12 years old. But I think that's when life got real for me, and I realized that things would probably never be the same in my life. Less than a year later, my mom died of brain cancer. Throughout those trials and tribulations, I watched my mom's body, pretty much disintegrate, her mind disintegrate. I watched my mom try to drink a candle because she didn't have any, brain capacity left. The cancer had just ate her up completely, and she was a vegetable on hospice in our home, and eventually passed away July 11th of 1997, and that was the day that changed my life forever. After that, my dad became an alcoholic. My sister ran away from home, and I continued to live my life on my own, trying to pick up all these pieces that I didn't even know. I wasn't old enough to know what to do with these pieces or how to put them in place, or I didn't know a direction to go in. But I went, and I went on my own. And that has proven to be probably the turning point in my life. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I've probably broken the law a few times, got away with it a few times, and got caught a few times. And, that's something I'm not proud of, but that's a part of my life, and it makes me who I am today. So we're going to fast forward quite a few years, and we're going to talk about my dad. My dad passed away in 2013 of a heart attack. Nobody found him for 2 weeks. The police shot out his back window because my dad had such amazing doors and windows that they couldn't get in his house. They shot out the back window, removed my dad. Obviously, after 2 weeks of decaying on the floor, the remains, the fluids, were still there. Where the police left the window open, so bugs and animals got into my dad's house, in his remains. And I show up at my father's house, and my dad is all over his 3,400 square foot house. The walls, the windows, the carpets, everywhere. I clean that up by myself. I feel like this is me trying to get a few things off my chest, but it's also to give you an idea of how you can overcome things and still make something out of your life. Directly after that, my son's mom committed suicide. Still trying to mentally figure that out. And it's a part of me that'll never go away. Unfortunately, I don't know what did it. I wish I did. I wish I had that answer, but I don't. I don't want to hold that feeling with me forever and that regret. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to Kayla, which is her name, or my son. So I just try to hold on to what I knew of her. So I tried to move on from that, learn from all these experiences, put these things in the back of my mind, but they're still there in the front. And unfortunately, January 1st, New Year's Day, 2018, my best friend, one of my best friends got murdered, got stabbed to death. And that changed my life again forever. But I'll never forget a moment that I had thought of, and a few of my friends brought this to my attention, who are mutual friends of mine and Kyle's. God rest his soul. But I'll never forget when my friend told me that I picture Kyle coming up to me and putting his arm around me and telling me to stop being soft. And that was Kyle to the T. That was Kyle. That was him. And I felt it. I still feel it to this day. And that was the turning point in my life when I realized that everything that is you, everything that you've been through, this journey that you're on, these scars are just souvenirs. and you have to embrace it, and you have to let it make you stronger and not let it destroy you. My why is powerful because if I don't have my why, I don't have life. I need my why. My why is to live for all these people who never got a chance to, and I haven't even touched base, on the grandparents that I've lost, the aunts and the uncles. I mean, I've lost a lot of people in my life, and my why is to live for them. And my why is so powerful. I know the energy that they have is also within me. I won't stop until I win. I won't stop until I'm content mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I won't quit. I won't. For everybody who didn't get a chance to, for myself because I deserve it, and forever it is that I end up marrying or meeting along the way, my kids, their families, my sister. I owe it to these people to live a great, wonderful life. But I guess why I'm telling you this right now is because your why has to be strong. You can't look at all the negatives in your life and roll off of that. You have to look at the positives and then take those negatives and use those as motivation to help you climb, that mountain. It's a steep mountain. It's a big climb, but you don't have a choice. You can't just fall back in the crowd and sit there and wait for answers. You have to dig for them. You have to keep climbing, keep digging, keep on that pursuit of, no pun intended, but keep on the pursuit of happiness. Understand that there is another side. You just have to have the vision. You have to understand that all of these things are what's preparing you for the future. Whatever your future is, you have to believe in it. Just believe and understand that sometimes these trials and tribulations are things that you have to go through. There's a greater purpose for you. There's a greater purpose for everything that's going on, and you have to try to understand that and hone in on that and then embrace it. Once you embrace it and you understand your purpose, that's when magic happens. I don't really like to touch base on religion. I don't really like to touch base on God and all that stuff because I kind of like to leave, an unbiased opinion. But you have to believe in something. When you have that much loss in your life, that much tragedy, that much setback, you have to have belief in something. So now I challenge all of you to just believe. Go out and live every single day. Find out what your why is and act like your life depends on it, because it does. Your happiness, your peace of mind, everything that is your existence depends on you moving on and digging deeper and figuring out how you can navigate this world with all the setback that you have had. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. No one ever said it was going to be easy. Ever. Nobody said it was going to be easy. But I promise you the end product is amazing. But you can't quit no matter what. No matter what. I'm one of those people. I'm a grinder. I'm a survivor. I don't stop. I barely touch the tip of the iceberg on my life and where I've came from. But it doesn't matter where I came from. It matters where I'm going. It matters where I'm going. You might have a past, but you also have a future. And you have to embrace that future and look at it as a positive. One thing I've talked about before in my other podcasts is if the first 35 years of your life were horrible, there's only one way for the second 34 or 35 years of your life to go, and that's amazing because the world works in balance. The universe is made on an axis, which is absolutely perfect. It's perfect balance. The world works in balance. Make it work for you. And don't let your emotions set you back from achieving the highest goals that you possibly can. I know it's tough. It's not easy to get up in the morning and put your feet on solid ground. But look, if you're too weak to stand, kneel. And you know what comes after that. I don't even have to say it. But this is one of these nights. Look, I'm going through it tonight. Just like everybody else out there in the world. I'm real. I have real feelings. My heart hurts like everybody else. But I understand one thing. That it's about the journey as a whole. You have to embrace the entire journey. There's a reason why you're going through what you're going through, and just embrace it. And don't ever look back. Don't ever look back. Embrace it. Try to understand it. Get clarity from it. Get closure. Get peace of mind. And move forward, and let that be your motivation to drive you tomorrow, the next day, through the next week, the next month, and the next year. It's not easy. I know this. But I'm stronger than that, and so are you. Look, it's okay to be weak, but you have to be the strongest weak person you can be. You can't always wear your heart on your sleeve or your emotions on your sleeve. You got to internally figure that out. Internally. But let that be your motivation. I mean, I've failed and failed and failed and failed and failed in life. Over and over and over again. But it's those failures that bring you to a point right now to help you succeed. It's the tragedies, it's the death, it's the setbacks, it's all of that will bring you to where you need to be right now to succeed and what your bigger purpose is. So look, I always invite all of you to come pick my brain. Tonight, I'm giving you my reasons why. Now it's time to think about your reasons why. Why do you do what you do? What makes your emotions work? What drives your soul? You have to figure those things out to move forward, and you can't ever forget where you came from. Like, use that as your drive and your motivation. You know, failure is a success if you use it the right way. Loss, can promote a healthy life if you use it the right way. It's just perspective. Get your brain in the right place. Understand that those feelings and emotions, they'll pass. It's okay. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to wonder, about the past. It's okay. All of those feelings, everything that you feel is okay. Just harness it and then make them yours. And turn around and, use that as, your motivation to completely turn your life around. And if your life is already good, don't stop. Don't stop. Keep proving everybody wrong. Keep showing everybody what you're made of, because that's all that really matters. You don't listen to all the naysayers. You don't listen to any of that stuff. Nothing around you. You worry about you, what's going on in your world, what directly affects you. And do what your parents taught you to do, and just stay kind. Be humble, be grateful, be thankful. There's a lot ahead of you. There's a lot down that road. You got to quit dwelling on, the road that you've already traveled. Nobody wants to turn around. Nobody wants to take a U-turn and go back. Who does that? Nobody wants to do that. Just keep going forward. Keep beating that path. It will work out for you. All you have to do is have faith and understand that all the things in your past lead up to where you are right now and where you're going. And just embrace it, hold on to it, never forget it, and keep pushing forward. I invite you all to come pick my brain a lot. Tonight, I'm in my feelings, and I feel that it's important to put this out there for the people who aren't as strong as others. Like myself, I can be weak. I can be weak, but that's okay. That's okay. It just, how are you going to back that up? What are you going to do, after you're tired of weakness? What happens when you get tired of being weak? I know that sounds cliche, but at some point you got to be tired of it, and you got to pick yourself up and keep moving. And that's why I'm here. I want you all to pick yourself up and keep moving. Don't worry about yesterday. Think about tomorrow and the rest of your life, because that's what matters. That's what matters. And I will leave you with that tonight. We're going on 20 minutes. I usually try to keep this a little shorter, but I wanted to give you a little backstory on my life and where I came from, and some of the reasons why I am who I am today and why I have gotten to where I have today. And I will say some of my life has sucked. It's been horrible. I've walked all the way through hell. But it took me walking through all of that to get where I'm at right now. It's still not easy. It'll never be easy. Just embrace it, people. Just embrace it. I really thank you for tuning in, taking time out of your night, your day, your morning, whatever it is you have going on. Don't ever forget this message. Don't ever forget where you came from. And don't ever forget where you're going. This is Richard Smith with Rational Thoughts of Irrational Man. Have a great evening, everyone.